What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the Project CRX a little bit. The car has been sitting on the yard for the last week and a half or so now, and I have this giant box that's sitting in the living room that's been there for like over a month, and it is the new suspension for the car because the one on the car currently is kind of used and abused, and I want something a little bit stiffer. So what I'm going to do is I am going to be moving the sedan off the driveway, and we're gonna be moving the CRX up so we can get going with that. I do want to get the suspension all buttoned up so I can take it to the alignment shop because I do notice that the car is a little wobbly. So I want to go over the suspension, fix the caster a little bit, and then throw the new suspension on so we can schedule an appointment. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've been working on this car off camera, just kind of cleaning everything out. Shout out to the homie SI. He came through the other day to help me pull the entire interior out, and then we cleaned the heck out of it. And then what I've done was I took the dashboard out to repair the crack, which is over there, and I just kind of started tearing everything apart. I told myself, do not touch this car until we are ready to work on it, and sometimes I don't listen to my own rules. Before we get started, I went to the PO box yesterday and I got a package that I want to open up. Don't know what's inside of it, so let's check it out. Nice little square piece. I'm not sure if this is like another painting or whatever, but it looks like it has an Amazon bagging over it, so it must have came from there. Razor blade, cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. Razor blade is really nice and sharp because I just changed it out yesterday, 2 days ago. We do have a note right here. It says, thanks for all the content. Use this on one of your cars to keep the battery fresh and ready to go, from David Power. Go Power Ranger. Hold on. Use this on one of your cars to keep the battery fresh and ready to go. 20W flexible solar panel. What? Okay. Now I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. Cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. So this is a Sun Apex 20-watt solar panel, and this is the manual for it right here. There are different designs of it as well. So going through this really quickly: safety warnings, product information, how to hook this up. Pretty straightforward, really. Got some lights right here, indicators, and then you know, angles for direct sunlight for efficient power charging. Okay, cool. So pretty simple. This is a cigarette lighter with the adapter here. We have the clamps for the battery. We got a couple of suction cups there. This is the plug that goes to the solar panel, which is this entire box. Underneath here we have a solar panel, and I'm just gonna assume that this is something you stick out into the sun from inside of the car, so that way we can draw some power to the battery while the car is not being used. And this is actually perfect for the Project CRX because the battery is new, but it sat for a long while and the battery doesn't hold charge after a couple of days of not driving it. So that's probably not going to work because it's like literally under the tree. But if I park it further near the trampoline, just hook it up to the battery and put it up in the dashboard and let it charge. So that's freaking awesome. Big shout out to David Power for sending this over. Definitely gonna put it to use. I think it makes more sense to move this car where the KRX is at and move this car over there because it runs and drive, and it'll save me time from pushing this over there and then back by myself. So let's go ahead and move the KRX. shout out to Maxpeedingrods. Thank you, Macy, for getting this out super quickly. Like I mentioned, it's been sitting in the living room, and I think it's finally time to install it so we can make further progress on the Project CRX. This right here is their newest line of coilovers. It's the T7 coilover system, full body, and this one has the better spring rate, and this is the same coilovers that I have in Project Blueberry, and the suspension in that car rides really nicely. I've also had their yellow body coilover, which is currently in the Project CRX. I've also had their gray body coilover, which was in the FABRICATION CRX. I will tell you that this one right here, the T7, the SP2, is definitely hands down the better one of all their suspension for the Hondas. As always, we have this little bag of goodies. We got the collars for if you're using this on the EG or DC chassis. They do have this little bracketry for the brake lines. I still don't know what these washers are for, but they are there and they become useful for other projects in the garage. Their SP2 coilovers are gray and black, and this is how you deter the difference between all the other make and models, since they aren't stamped anywhere to let you know which model these are. But just know that the black and gray body coilover is the latest T7 coilover system. I believe it's 7K front, 11K rear. This one is also dampening adjustable. They do have a higher performance fluid in here to help the dampening for like race applications. This one right here is the front coilover. The front has a pillow ball design right here on the hat and not the rubber bushing. I did mention to them that it would have been nice if all the top hats had pillow ball on it. Hopefully they integrate this into a newer design later down the road. I'm gonna go ahead and get these all taken out of the box. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack the car up, start popping off the old suspension so we can compare it and adjust this to the right height that we are looking for, and then get these installed back into the car. This may be a little hard for you guys to see, but I can assure you that the springs are upgraded. I can see it with my eyes that these are thicker than the one that came off the car, but I do have my digital caliper and I'm gonna measure the thickness in millimeters just to give you a reference. This right here is literally like the first coilover that Maxpeedingrods has for the Hondas, and these ride okay, but I much prefer the adjustability and the thicker spring rate, as well as the spherical top hat. So these are coming out. I'm gonna go ahead and measure this, zero out the gauge. We're at about 1248. Measure the front over here, 1375-ish, definitely thicker. This one right here is the rear, zero out, 11 millimeters. And then on the new one, about 1220-ish. So definitely thicker in the rear as well too. So I've mentioned this many times before, I like to preload the spring a little bit more out of the box, so that way it's a little bit stiffer, and then you can accommodate soft or stiff with the adjustable dampening here on the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen up this bolt here, and then I'm gonna tighten up the perch a little bit more, and then I'm gonna shoot the bolt back down, and then we'll match it all around. Pull this little knob off, make it a little easier with the impact. I'm not going super tight with the preload. I'm just gonna try to turn this a few more times, and then we'll tighten with the bolt back up on the top. Okay, so I can feel it kind of tightening up right there. We probably went up about 1/4 inch, and that's gonna make a significant difference. And I'm gonna go ahead and lock this bottom one back in. And then we're gonna shoot the top down, which is going to compress that spring a little bit more to give us a tighter preload. Cool. So quickly, just to measure, from the top of the hat down to the perch, we are 7 1/4 on the first perch, and then on this one right out of the box we are 7, a little under 7 1/2. So we definitely went up a 1/4 inch of preload, and I'm gonna do the same for all of it. So let's knock that out really quickly before we adjust the ride height. I do like the ride height that's currently on the car with this coilover system, so I'm pretty much just gonna match it and adjust it in the car as we go, but hopefully make it a one shot. And from the looks of this one, from the hat to the lower perch, we are sitting at 8 3/4, so 8 3/4, where this one out of the box is 9 3/4. When you adjust the ride height on the coilover system, you adjust the bottom body of the coilover and not the preload or the spring. That is the easiest way for you to blow out the shock. Is why a lot of people who run these suspensions say they don't last long, because they are super slammed. These aren't meant to go low, so they start messing with the perch and the spring, which then compresses the shock, bounces around, blow it out, and then people complain about it. These are not meant to be low, guys. So adjust the body of the coilover going up to get the ride height we are looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. This is 8 3/4. So over here, 8 3/4, somewhere there. Go ahead and lock that into place, and then we'll fully lock this when it is in the car, because you know we have a little leverage. So we have our suspension adjusted. Now let's get them installed in the car. I am taking note that the front upper control arms are skunk to adjustables. Down low here we have sway bar and link bushings, obviously an innovative traction bar. It does have a big brake upgrade as well. This is 11-inch rotors with ITR calipers, probably an EX or DA spindle, because there is no adapters back here, so that's good to know. Stainless steel brake lines, factory rack and pinion. LCAs have the factory bushings as well. In the rear, factory 9091 SI disc brakes, factory camber arm, factory trailing arm bushings. The LCAs looks like they look clean, but there's a torn bushing right there. I don't have any bushings to replace that. Other than that, slotted rotors do have good brake pads on them, front and back. There is no sway bar, I just noticed. The brackets are there, and yeah, other than that, kind of curious to see what this is. Huh, condensation. That's a good sign of a healthy motor. So we have the coilovers installed back into the car, and I'm gonna adjust the dampening on this. So I'm gonna turn it left all the way for soft, and then we're gonna count how many click there is, and I'm gonna set it in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 clicks. And I'm sure on the Blueberry I have it at 12, so I'm gonna click it down to 12 on medium, because this has the 11K springs in the front, and I don't want it to be too stiff, but we'll adjust it accordingly. But 12 is where we're gonna be at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All the way to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now for the rear, because the spring rates are a little softer, I'm gonna put this on full stiff. So that's gonna be all the way to the right there. This one, all the way to the right. And obviously whoever ends up getting this car, you can adjust it accordingly. So as far as the ride height goes, we're just gonna take what we have once the car is back on the floor with these wheels, because these wheels are definitely gonna be throwing off the ride height because of the tire size. The rears are 185, 55, 15, so it's a taller profile. The front are Toyo Proxies. They are 195 50/15 and they are bold. So this is going to throw off the ride height for sure. I'm just going to throw the wheels on, drive it around, make sure it feels good, and then we're going to call it there. I need to go to the storage, grab my RPF ones with brand new DZ 102s. They are 205 50/15s all around, brand new, and then we can adjust the ride height then. But for right now, we're just going to rock with whatever it is. I do have all the purchase locked into place, so I'm going to go ahead and just step back real quick and get the car back onto the ground. Yes sir, the car is back on the ground, and I do notice that the front is a little bit higher than the rear, but then again 50 series versus 55, so it's going to look like that. Hopefully we can adjust everything accordingly once we get the other wheels on. Not too shabby. Come on, let's get some speed. Let's get some speed. Hard clutch. I guess not. Yes sir. So far it feels really good. It's not crazy bouncy or anything. Drive this car a little more aggressive once we get the tune going, but it feels good. The transmission feels really good. It's like butter. Cable B16 transmission I've had sitting around for a very long time, and this is the first time I'm actually driving on it. But I will tell you, the innovative shift linkage for B-Swap EF is ass. If you guys have an innovative shift linkage on your B-Swap EF, you guys know what I'm talking about. The position of the shifter, like first and second, is literally on my knees, and then third, fourth is in place of first and second usually, and then fifth is where third would be at. So it's more over to the left side, and it really bothers me. But regardless of that, we have all our gears reverse clicking perfectly. Like I said, I can't wait to get this thing tuned so we can drive it a little bit more aggressive, maybe take it up to some back roads or something before I get rid of this car. Once I pull the wheels back off to adjust the ride height per the other wheels, I will double check again all of the suspension, because there is a weird like noise, and like I don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from the passenger side area, so we'll double check all of that second time around. But aside from that, new Maxpeedingrods suspension is installed. It feels really good, just as good as the Blueberry, which I actually moved over there. And if you guys see the solar panels on the wagon, because there is a battery in there as well too. But yeah, anyways, it rides really well, and there's still a lot more adjustability in the back, but I'm happy with it overall. Old Maxpeedingrods suspension out, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. Probably give it away to somebody or put it in the parts pile. So I am going to wrap up the video right here. Big shout out to Maxpeedingrods once again. Thank you for coming on board with the Project CRX build with the new T7 coilovers. And if you guys are interested in that same coilovers or any product by Maxpeedingrods, be sure to use discount code YStatic down below. And that's going to be it. So if you guys enjoyed this video a little bit, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for what's all going to be coming here to the channel soon, the EF sedan, the Project CRX, Blueberry, getting some new stuff tomorrow. If you guys want to stick around for all of that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.